Hey, Chris Lipe here. Thanks again, Justin, for having me back on the channel. I hear the following all too often from people, particularly guitar players, who want to sing but don't feel like they can.
No, it's been a long time since I've heard you. I wanted it to mean something.
They say, I can't maintain my pitch. Maybe I'm tone deaf.
Long time since I've heard you.
Well, in this video, I've got some amazing news for you.
Mean something.
Most likely, you don't have a tone-deaf problem or a pitch problem. You've got a memory problem. And in this video, I'm going to share with you two simple exercises that you can use to train a better pitch awareness into your voice and mind. And we're going to do it by utilizing rhythm, rhyme, and repetition. The same things that we use to learn songs. Lots of people, when they start to sing, and understandably so, one of the first things they do is try to sing a song that they know on the guitar. They know the guitar part all the way through, they can strum along to it, and they go for it with their voice. That's way too much to learn if you feel like you might have pitch or intonation problems. We need to start with very, very simple hooks. One or two notes, one or two words, and train those into our mind first. The first thing we're going to do here is visually connect pitch to what we feel our voice doing. If our ears aren't catching the various pitch shifts and things that are giving us problems, our eyes are going to help our body internalize what's correct, and that's going to help our ears. You can do this exercise with any chromatic tuner. You can do it with a phone app, as long as it's got a mic. I'm going to use this here plugin. I'm going to go through a few open strings on the guitar, which I believe is in tune, and then I'm going to sing back with my voice. And you're going to notice some interesting things even with my voice, and I'll talk us through how neat this drill is. La. Notice I started on pitch, but you could see that my pitch was going up. It was drawing itself sharp just a little bit. This is a problem that I have, and I've been singing forever. A lot of times when I'm strumming and I stop playing the guitar, my voice veers sharp just a little bit. Even though I can hear myself, even though I have been singing for a very long time, this is an issue. And it's an issue for a lot of people. La. La. So I'm going to reground myself on that E. La. And I'm going to gradually feel my voice going down so that I can meet that pitch. La. I'm going to play with all those little micro changes in there. You can hear my voice shaking a little bit as I'm trying to dial it in. That's totally okay. Let's try this again with an A. La. I'm a little flat there. Raise it up just a little bit. La. There we go. La. I'm also going to dance around the pitch as I'm watching my voice on this tuner, because it's going to give me, if I do this often enough, it's going to give me a feel-based sensation that I'm going to be able to relate to a good pitch. So when I sing my open A on my guitar, la, center it with my ear best I can, and look at the graph. La. I'm going to be able to dial that pitch in. But in that playing back and forth, la, I'm not quite going to different notes, but I'm learning to go a little bit out of tune, a little bit in tune, much like tuning your strings on your guitar. After you've grown to do it for a while, you feel that warble. You don't just hear it, you feel it. The same is even more true with our voices. So grab your tuner, go through your open strings if you have to drop down an octave or whatever to play with those different notes. That's totally fine. Make sure your mic is close to your voice and see what happens here. Play with the ins and the outs. This is not something that's going to be very easy if you've never done this before right off. It's something that's going to take you a lot of time, and I'll use the word that I spoke about at the beginning, or one of them. It's going to take repetition and internalization and introspection as you do this. Here is the second cool exercise that is going to really break your voice and your mind out of the my pitch is bad game. And it goes back to the idea that a lot of singers try to take on too much when they first start to sing or when they're trying to sing altogether. Using very small phrases, 1 or 2 notes at a time, and really honing in on how different pitches feel within different parts of your range is going to train the ear, train the mind, and then associating it with something catchy. We have to get away from I'm singing notes to I'm just humming a little ditty, a really simple ditty. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take E, an E chord, and we're going to practice singing the chord tones, but we're going to think about it as more of a riff. And we're going to say the words, reach for me. First, I'm just going to strum my guitar. I'm going to be rhythmic with my voice. Reach for me. Reach for me. Rhythm is going to be the foundation of how we're going to approach this. I'm going to speak over this chord. Reach for me. Reach for me. Yeah. Reach for me. Reach for me. Hear how musical it already sounds? I'm vibing even though I'm just speaking into the mic. Next, we're just going to focus on the 1, which we already have practiced dialing in with our tuner. Reach, reach. Let that feel work itself into your body. Reach. But here's the catch. We're going to start by singing that note, but we're only going to speak the last note, or the last word, me. Reach for me. Reach for me. Reach for me. Now we're going to practice speaking the first 2 words and singing the last one on me. Reach for me. Reach for me. What we're doing with this drill initially here is we're giving ourselves permission to not have any pitch, but just be conversational and engaged with the vibe on those first 2 words or the last word, whatever, as we move things around. And then we're only giving ourselves really one opportunity to nail that pitch. Reach for me. Reach for me. Notice that time I had to search for that pitch a little bit. Me. Normal. Don't get discouraged. If you even have to stop and play with your tuner, ground yourself in that pitch, you're doing okay. Now we're going to add a chord tone. La 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 la. There I am. La. It's easy for me to want to go flat on a third, the third of the chord. Lots of people go flat on thirds. La 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 la. So I'm gonna go speak, reach for me. Spoken, first word, third, root. Reach for me. Reach for me. Reach for me. I'm really going to focus on opening my mouth up and not swallowing that note, those notes, particularly on the sung ones. Reach for me. Reach for me. Reach for me. Me. I'm a bit sharp. I could feel something being a little bit off there. For me, me, me. Okay, me, me. Oh, it sounds better. Me, re. I'm not faking this. This is really happening, where I have drawn myself sharp as I think about these simple phrases, and having to re-engage the feel by visually reminding myself of where that's at. So I want to encourage you, as you're doing this, if you struggle with it, I, who have been singing for over 20 years and am a vocal coach and a singer all the time, am having to do this. I'm having to ground in the feel and visually train pitch and the feel of those pitches into my voice. And remember at the very beginning, I said, you don't have a pitch problem, you have a memory problem. And what I mean by that is you have, and we all have, a muscle memory issue where we need to remind ourselves, we need to jog our muscle memory a bit with visual aids like this and simple things using your guitar and using your voice to ground our pitch. We will learn pitch, we will internalize pitch as we learn to internalize it as a feel. Let's try a different key. Reach for me. Okay, speak the first word. Reach for me. I sensed myself dipping a little bit. Not because I heard something, but because I felt something on that last note. Me. I did that a little bit. That's great. The fact that I felt that and am able to inch back up, looking at the tuner, it's extremely helpful. Reach for for me. Reach for me. Reach for me. Reach for me. Reach for me. Now, it's interesting. I felt like I might be a little flat there, but when I actually looked at the graph, at the tuner, I was right on. Me. So I need to recall that feel. Me. Compare it with my guitar. Ear, eyes, and feel are all together now. So take this simple song, go around to different keys, experiment with different chords, maybe even experiment with different chord tones. Set yourself up in a way to do this and start internalizing pitch as feel, using your rhythm, using repetition, and in this case, even using some rhyme. Reach and me, sort of rhyme. By having this simple exercise and by treating it as this little ditty and using these tools, I guarantee you're going to become better and more confident and more free with your pitch and therefore your singing. Thanks again, Justin, for having me on the channel. We'll see you for more.